Hey guys, this is Alexander from the United States of America, and welcome to Ascension Music's review of the Eurovision Song Contest 2017 Before the Show. So yes, Before the Show means that I am making this before the semifinals and the final have aired, and what I hope to do is that after the three shows are over, I will make a follow-up video, and that will be a review of the contest after the show. So I won't be talking about the live performances or the results in this video. I'm just going to talk about my thoughts on the lineup and how everything's been going ahead of the actual broadcast. Before we begin, I just wanted to mention that I hope you're having a great day, and thank you so much for being here. So what are my thoughts on Eurovision 2017? Well, to sum it up, I think this is a very strong year. I believe that Eurovision has been getting better and better recently, and 2017 is no stranger to that trend. I thought last year, 2016, was an amazing year for Eurovision. There were a lot of really good songs and performances, and I thought after last year, boy, no other year is going to top this. I'm afraid that 2017 will be a letdown compared to this year. Well, here we are in 2017, and it turns out that this year is at least on par with 2016, and as a matter of fact, this year may actually be better than last year. There are so many songs I love this year. And yeah, I have the feeling this year may be better than last year. Last year I liked about 55 to 65% of the songs, whereas this year I honestly like about 80 to 90% of the songs. That's amazing! So I've been mentioning how strong the lineup is this year, but I'd like to go a little bit more in depth in this video and talk about what I'm seeing going on. Like, what are the main forces that are playing out in this year's contest? And what I can say is that there is a battle kind of going on to win over people's hearts between the kind of typical Eurovision content that we're used to, done very well this year, versus the more innovative or mainstream type songs or very modern and contemporary songs that have entered the contest this year. So there are several kinds of camps or categories we can divide the songs into, and I do believe it'll be interesting to see like which camps get the most support. Will it be the typical songs that are done very well this year, or will it be the innovative or risky songs that will not appeal to everybody's taste, but are appreciated by a certain niche? And here are kind of the categories or camps I came up with. So the first category is typical Eurovision pop done well. So these are the types of songs that are kind of very often featured in Eurovision, and they feel very Eurovision-y, if that makes any sense, but they're done really well this year. And the songs in that category are Sweden, Montenegro, Greece, Moldova, Cyprus, Iceland, Romania, Denmark, San Marino, Switzerland, Estonia, Israel, and Germany. So yeah, those are all kind of songs that we could have heard any other year at Eurovision, but they're still really good. And the second category is very similar, but instead of the upbeat pop, the second category is typical Eurovision ballads done well. Ballads are also a big feature every year in Eurovision, not just the flashy upbeat pop stuff, but ballads are always in Eurovision, and these songs are typical Eurovision ballads, but they are done really well. And those songs are Georgia, Albania, Poland, Czechia or Czech Republic, Slovenia, Malta, the Netherlands, Ireland, and the United Kingdom. A third category or camp that's very small, but I couldn't think of where to put these songs in any other category, would be the alternative songs. These are songs that would only have limited appeal, but people who do like these types of songs would really love them. And those three songs are Ukraine, Spain, and Lithuania. So I'm not sure how well those three songs are going to do in the contest. I have a feeling none of them are going to do well, although I do believe they all have their merits. They're just not intended for the mainstream Eurovision taste. But anyways, we talked about kind of the typical Eurovision songs done well, and on the other side of the spectrum, I see two other categories, and the two other categories are songs that are innovative and songs that don't really sound like they're from Eurovision, which means they're either more modern or something you'd hear that's mainstream on the radio, or something that's more current or contemporary. So let's start off with the songs that are modern and don't really sound like Eurovision songs necessarily. Those songs are Australia, Belgium, Azerbaijan, Latvia, Serbia, Austria, Macedonia, Norway, and France. And of course, not all of those songs I would say are equally as strong in this category. You could say songs like Serbia and Austria are more Eurovision-y than some of the other songs, but for the most part, I would say these songs don't sound like they come from Eurovision, so it'll be interesting to see how they'll be received. I'm pretty sure a lot of them will do really well. Australia's almost sounds like it's from America. Belgium and Azerbaijan are very modern and contemporary. Belgium has that really kind of robotic vibe going on, whereas Azerbaijan is more edgy and punky. Latvia is very modern and electronic, as is Norway. Norway has that whole DJ vibe going on. Serbia and Macedonia are not quite as unusual for Eurovision, but still they do feel like very modern and contemporary pop songs, so they're really high quality. Austria feels like something I would hear in a shopping mall here in the United States of America, to be honest. And France feels like really good French pop and not something that is actually meant to appeal to an international audience. Although it actually has appealed to an international audience, which is great. And the final category or camp I see being created this year are the songs that are very innovative and are very touching, although they will not be appreciated by everybody because they are quite different and you have to have a certain musical taste to appreciate these songs. And those songs are Finland, Portugal, Armenia, Hungary, Croatia, Belarus, Bulgaria, and Italy. Now you can say Italy is a very kind of mainstream pop song that's very catchy and a lot of people really love it, so it has mass appeal, and that's definitely true. I mean, it has 100 million views on YouTube, after all. But the lyrics are very kind of unconventional for a pop song, so that's why I've included Italy in this category. I don't think it's fair to call Italy a typical Eurovision song or typical mainstream radio song just because of the lyrical content with all of the philosophical references. But yeah, these songs are very innovative and quite different, and I really hope they'll do well, although I'm not sure how well they'll do. Finland is a very touching and sophisticated ballad. It's a little slow for me, but that's just me. I still appreciate how high quality of a song it is. Portugal is old-fashioned on the surface, but if you actually read the beautiful lyrics in Portuguese and translate them into your own native language, for instance, I translated them into English, the lyrics are very touching and the Portuguese song can really stir the soul. Armenia has the Asian vibe going on, which is awesome because Armenia is a crossroads between Asia and Europe, and the song feels very spiritual, and it's just very nice. It's quite different, but very unique. Hungary, with the whole Roma ethnic character and his rapping about the problems that Roma face in modern society, it's also a very touching song, and it's just a perfect blend of, I would say, a modern beat with old-fashioned dance and instruments. Croatia too is a song I feel is very innovative because it's a person singing a duet with himself in multiple different voices in two different languages. Also, the message of the song is very uplifting, although we get that quite a bit in Eurovision, so I wouldn't call that aspect necessarily innovative, although I really like it. But yeah, just the whole idea of Jacques being able to switch back and forth between different pitches is amazing. Belarus is also innovative simply because it's the first song in the history of Eurovision to be sung in the Belarusian language, or Belarusian. I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced in English, but that's amazing. And it's just a very nice, happy, very cheerful folk song. Bulgaria has a very modernistic sound to it. You can technically put it in the previous category, but there's just something quite special about it because of the message of the song and just the kind of very urban and contemporary and very youthful and fresh vibe to it. So I would say that's quite innovative. And yeah, I've already talked about Italy, so that's it for those songs. So yeah, those are kind of the categories or camps I see playing out in this year's contest. And it'll be interesting to see where the votes go, both on the public side of things and on the jury side of things. The typical Eurovision content done very well. I mean, I love some of those songs, so I'm definitely rooting for them, especially my personal favorites. But I really hope that the songs that are innovative can be appreciated as well. And I'm sure some of them will, but maybe not all of them will. I'd also like to give a special shout out to Slovenia, Hungary, Belarus, Latvia, and Finland because all of those songs are entirely self-written by the performers, and that's a really amazing and talented thing. So kudos to those entries. And of course, many of the other songs are co-written or have professional songwriters, and all of them are good. just I always feel like mentioning, because I think it's very hard to be able to not only compose the music of a song, but also to write the lyrics and be able to perform it live. That requires a lot of talent. If I had to give my awards for this year before the live performances, and I'll make a follow-up after the show, in my opinion, the best lyrics goes to Italy and Croatia. In my opinion, the best music belongs to Bulgaria, Georgia, and Macedonia. I also really like Estonia, Ireland, and Slovenia, so those would be kind of my honorable mentions. And for me, the most special or unique songs, personally, are Portugal, Armenia, and Hungary. So congratulations to all those songs. Besides the music that's going to be featured in the contest, the other topic we can discuss today is the organization of the contest in Ukraine. So, I have been to Kiev before in 2011, and I can say it is a really great host city, and anybody who's able to go to Eurovision Live will probably not be disappointed in Kiev. So yeah, it's a great place to hold it, and I'm really glad Ukraine is hosting. I do believe Jamala's 1944 was a deserving winner, and it's just very nice that Ukraine has a time to shine this year. Let me know if you caught that pun, by the way. But yeah, the three hosts look to be good. It's pretty cool that there'll be 3 male hosts for the first time. I know Austria set the record for 3 female hosts. And so yeah, I'm really happy that it's in Ukraine overall. But I guess the big elephant in the room, the shadow that's been lurking over this entire contest, is the whole conflict between Ukraine and Russia. And without going into too much detail, I believe it was a very unpleasant situation. I do believe both countries acted poorly, but of course both countries do have issues with corruption and politics, let's be honest here. I do think Russia is the country that is more to blame overall, because they sent a singer who had violated Ukrainian law knowingly, and also they're going to have her perform on the same day as the first semifinal at the Soviet Victory Day concert in Crimea, of all places. Russia is a huge country, yet they're going to host their concert in Crimea, and they're going to have her perform after she was banned from Eurovision because of her having been to Crimea on the Russian side. Like, it just feels like Russia was intentionally trying to provoke Ukraine. I'm not saying the Ukrainian side are the good guys. I think Yulia is very sweet, and I feel sorry for the Russian people that they are out of Eurovision this year, but it is what it is. And as bad as this sounds, I'm kind of glad that the contest is moving ahead, and that this whole political situation can hopefully be forgotten while we're all enjoying the semifinals and the final. And I really hope Yulia will be set next year and not be betrayed by the Russian broadcaster, because after being selected as the participant this year and allowing her to fulfill her dream, it would be a big stab in the back if she is not allowed to perform next year. So I'm really hoping we'll see Yulia as Russia's 2018 representative. And that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. Please subscribe to Ascension Music for new Eurovision content. I'd really appreciate if you click that subscribe button down below, like the video, comment, and let me know what you think about this year's Eurovision Song Contest 2017. And also, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, I will post the links to our pages there in the description. Hope you check out our sites there and follow us there. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a wonderful day.